Hello and welcome to this board game overview from Tantrum House. I'm Jonah and you're in Studio J. Today's video is for the game Taverns and Dragons by Lord Raccoon Games. Welcome back, my name is Jonah Dew, and like I mentioned, this is an overview video of the game Taverns and Dragons by Lord Raccoon Games. Now, this video actually is sponsored by the creating company, so you're not going to hear me say things that I personally liked or did not like about gameplay. I'm just going to tell you about the game, what to look forward to, what the components look like, how the gameplay interacts, and that way you can build your own opinions. And if you decide the game's right for you, this game is actually headed straight to GameFound. So if you're interested after you watch this video, you've actually got to head to GameFound to back it. And I'll make sure that I put a link in the comments for you. Now, in Taverns and Dragons, players take on the role of tavern owners preparing the finest banquet to welcome the king and urge prestige points by cooking recipes. This game actually combines dice placement mechanics with worker movement. It's an adventure game full of heroes and dragons, and let's look it around. So at the beginning of each round, players roll their dice. Then each player plays all of their die one at a time to either activate one of their workers or to collect gold and energy. Your workers can also engage in risky but rewarding dragon hunts, or they can visit particular locations to get bonus actions. You've got the ability in this game to attract heroes to your tavern as well, who will help you slow down your opponents, or they can perform powerful combos. It's really cool. This game is for 2 to 5 players. It takes about 40 to 60 minutes to play. The goal of the game is to earn points for recipes cooked, for heroes that are attracted to your tavern, and trophies that you get for winning or that you bring back from dragon hunts. And at the end of 7 rounds, the player with the most points wins the game. Let's take a quick look into the box and let's see how it plays. In the roll phase, all players roll their 5 corresponding dice and then add up the values of their dice. All players who get a total of 9 or less will take a free energy. Then you move on to the actions phase, where each player will place one of the available dice to either a minion or to deploy in the city. When you activate a minion, you move it the number of spaces equal to the number on the die. Then you can collect an ingredient, you can visit a location, you can use an area action, or you can hunt a dragon. In any order, but only once per round. If you choose to deploy in the city, you can do so by choosing one of the options, like the magic fountain, and placing your die there to take the action. You can also get gold at the bank, or you can learn a recipe in the cooking library. Heroes allow you to gain powerful abilities, useful hunt bonuses, and prestige points. At the moment of the game, you can engage one of your 4 heroes available, and you use its ability by turning it sideways. The final phase is the cleanup phase, where you refresh the game board. The king will move 1 step closer to the city, and after certain rounds, you randomly take a dragon card and place its meeple on the location indicated on the top right of the card. At the end of round 7, the player with the highest prestige points wins the game. And that's your inside scoop and your inside look into Taverns and Dragons. Now, let me be frank with you, down to earth here, and say that the game that I have is a prototype. So the pieces, the game board, they're all going to look a lot better if you actually go and back this game if it's your type. Just wanted to let you know. But here's my first thought of the game. This game looks exactly how it's supposed to look. That's exactly what I thought when I opened the box and I looked at some of the pieces, I looked at the meeples. This is exactly what I was expecting from Taverns and Dragons. It's very, very beautiful. In a game of Taverns and Dragons, I expect to see cool dragon meeples, and even though what I have currently is a prototype, just look how cool it looked. I was intrigued by the game's circular path and kind of having 2 access points to each location. But after a few rounds, I realized that it actually works just fine. I was nervous about it, but I actually enjoyed it. The dice placement aspect of the game is the part that offers the brain burn that you're looking for in a game that you'll want to play over and over again. How that kind of works is when you roll all your die and you get your numbers in front of you, you've got to assign that specific die to a specific place or to a specific meeple, to one of your characters. So if you put the 2 that you rolled on the one meeple that you wanted to move, that 2 is not going on any other character, not any other meeple. You can't move it. And so you've got to play a little strategically to make sure you're setting up your turn the way you want to. It makes the placement of the die on the specific city space or on the specific meeple a challenge that you have to get through in your own head before you even get to think about taking out a dragon or a hero to help you. And it makes it an interesting part of the game. Timing is actually a big portion of this game as well. When fighting dragons, you actually want to be the person that delivers the final blow. So timing where you are and when to attack is actually a really big deal. This game gives you the medieval and fantasy feel while delivering mechanics that we all know and love in a gameplay mode that doesn't scream, oh no, I'm going to mess up all the rules the first time I play. And I love that. That's really important. So here are some things that you might want to know. I believe that this game plays well at 2 players, just like it does at its highest player count. That was really important. At my house, we end up playing a lot of 2-player games, my wife and I, because our kids are small. So having a game that plays well at 2 players is important to us. Although there are recipes to cook and ingredients to collect, it does not overpower this game to where I just call it, a recipe fulfillment type game. I'd honestly say the dice placement is the mechanism that stands out the most for me. The iconography is actually clear and concise, and our prototype came with a handy dandy player aid, which I am a sucker for. I'm a huge fan for a player aid. They make the game so much better. You don't have to go throughout the rule book 100 times while you're trying to play around. I'd even say that final scoring is easy to calculate, and that's a big win. It gives the ability to track how you're doing throughout the game so you can plan accordingly and give yourself the best chance to win. Anyway, thanks so much for joining us here at Tantrum House. Like I mentioned earlier, Taverns and Dragons is coming to GameFound very soon if it's not available for you right now. I know the campaign there has a bunch of stretch goals that include new heroes, new and exciting dragons, so many things, so much more. So if it's your type of game, you should totally check it out. And as always, if you want to hear more from us here at Tantrum House, make sure you like our videos and subscribe to our channel. And I'll see you guys next time. Do 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 do. Ba-doo.